I am in the carpool line waiting to pick my nephew up from school. It's ridiculous. I've been here for half an hour. Look how many cars are in line. Can you see the license plate on that car? It's tripping me out. 5T Wang. Wow. I lived in Montgomery almost 30 years, and this building here, you can see if you look at the top of it, there is a helicopter platform. The only building here in Montgomery that a helicopter frequently lands on top of. One day I'm gonna take the drone up there to the top of it. Check it out. 30 years. I have not once seen this memorial dedicated to the gallant war veterans from the state of Alabama. Never seen it. All the years I've been down here. This looks like it's some kind of fountain that's under construction or decommissioned at the moment. And it looks like there is another one in the back. They've got it blocked off, so no one can gain entry right now, which I suspect it's part of American Legion and Auxiliary state headquarters. It's pretty neat to see, even though, like I said, I've never seen it before in 30 years of living here. I guess you never know what you'll find when you just get out and tour your city. Radio tower there. This placard, I am assuming, is saying that statue I just showed was erected in 1966. At some point, this plaque was probably affixed to that statue. Behind where I just dropped off my nephew, right here at the Armory Gymnastics, is Crampton Bowl, which is the city of Montgomery's major football field besides Alabama State University, where just this past Saturday the college football season opened for FCS schools, which is the minor schools not on the level of the University of Alabama or Florida or LSU. The smaller teams, Alabama State University, UAB, Birmingham, when they had a team, would have been a part of it. They also hold an annual blue and gray game here it's Thanksgiving or Christmas. One of the two. I've been inside of there many times. They just finished renovating it and making it new again. My original plans was not to make a video today, but throughout the day that idea changed in my head. Right now we are at the city's largest cemetery, and I'm going to show you a little bit of what's out here. Section here are all dedicated to soldiers who died in World War II. Most of all these say RAF, which is the Royal Air Force. So undoubtedly they left the United States to go help Britain fight the Germans before America entered the war. I was wrong about that, because this placard here says, "Buried here are 73 officers and men of the Royal Air Force who lost their lives whilst training in Montgomery, Alabama during the Second World War." So they weren't from America, they were from England, and they came here just for training purposes. Nearly 1,000 men who died during that war, or the First World War, when serving with the forces of Britain, or the other Commonwealth countries lie buried in cemeteries throughout the United States of America. Their graves and this cross of sacrifice which commemorates them are maintained by the Commonwealth War Graves Commission. So I couldn't have been more wrong as to why they were here, but they were all part of World War II, which to me is a subject that I particularly enjoy. I like watching movies about World War II, videos. I spend a lot of time watching YouTube videos about World War II. I read on it, study it. It is a very fascinating part of history for not only Americans, but the entire world. This is the cross that was referred to in the plaque that we just saw. And now we have reached the French section. Just like the Royal Air Force, these officers died in World War II and were here training from the French Air Force from France. And one has to wonder, did these soldiers train here before or after Germany invaded France? Here is the plaque associated to all the French pilots buried here who were here for training. And it's my understanding that our local Maxwell Air Force Base has the biggest pilot training center in the country. I am not 100% sure whether that is accurate or not, but I have been told that. Now we come to probably the most famous person to come out of Montgomery. That's right, the one and only Hank Williams. I take that back, it's Hank Williams Sr., not Jr. I know I didn't say Jr., but I didn't clarify either. At any rate, Hank Williams Sr. is buried right here. 1923 to 1953. His tombstone is engraved with his different records. A marble hat modeled after one he wore. There's a placard that has his likeness on it. And his wife, Audrey, is also buried here. 1923 to 1975. So Audrey was born the same year as Hank Williams, but lived nearly 20 years. It was 18 years, but nearly 20 years longer than Hank did. Another note, you see how the grass has grown up in this part. Some graves are just not taken care of. This is the one grave that has been completely taken care of. And I was unaware that this grave was here. I have not been up here in a long time. Lillian Skipper Williams was the mother to the man himself and is now buried right next to him. I'm not sure why she didn't get the AstroTurf, the marble benches, any of that. For, you know, this was the mom, so she should have gotten taken care of. But her grave is still completely a marble slab in great condition. If you look next to it, there's nothing even on the headstone there, and it could use a good power washing. But his mom's grave is in really good shape, just separated from all of this nice area. And I'll have to do a little bit of research. I don't know who she is, but Irene Williams Smith was obviously part of Hank's family. She would have married J.T. Smith, giving the Smith on her last name. Chances are it's probably Hank's sister, but it says beloved daughter, sister, wife, mother, and friend. And the view from here is crazy. Of course, the big downtown area of Montgomery is to the left of us, and this is all outskirts, but there's a lot of residential area out in here, and industrial area. There's a lot of industrial area out in there too that you just can't see. All you can see are trees and these two large crosses here. As well as these tombs for burial above ground. There's some more on the opposite side of the road. Obviously no one buried inside of them. Those crosses I just showed you, I was unaware that that cemetery kept going on down the side of this hill face. I certainly did not know it. With the statue of this Jesus figure here on this corner. And it would appear there is another section hidden off back here in the woods. Never in my life knew that this was back here off the side of these hills. It's a pretty interesting setup. For nearly 20 years I've seen these all over the cemetery, and I've never once seen anyone buried inside of them. Not once. But at every corner they are stationed. I just showed you two of them a minute ago. They're all over the place, and you can tell they've been there a long time. The rock's not clean. They've been here a very long time. Just hollow. Just a hollow sarcophagus. That's a very patriotic angel there. Many times seen these used as a burial place, but never those open boxes like before. Now, this building could be home to 12 people. There is no engravings or inscriptions, so I'm going to assume no one is buried inside of there. Although they could be, and just it's not marked here where I can view from inside of my vehicle. As I pull out of the complex, I have to eat my own words, because here is one of those same tombs with someone buried inside of it. Now this one's a little bit different. It's surrounded by rock, but it's exactly like the sarcophagus I've been showing, with one side of it taken up. Here's my last shot leaving Oakwood Cemetery. Tell by it being dark out, it's a lot later in the afternoon, or evening rather, and I just want to say I see stories what's going on in Texas, and my thoughts and prayers are with everybody in Texas and all the bad that's going on over there. And you see these types of stories, and it makes you feel bad for the people that are having to go through it. And then you see something like this, it makes things even more truly heartbreaking. He's supposed to be a preacher or a pastor, a good Christian man, and he chose to not open up his church for people in need. And then you see stories like that where people are helping. Now, these police officers, that one and this one, over the last 6, 7, 8 months, have taken all kind of crap, been called racist, everything, and they're still out there saving lives every day. So I am gonna end here by saying, you know, people are good. What's going on? Everybody acting crazy in the country, that's not America. The stories of people saving other people and survivors, that's America. So everybody have a good night. Hit that like and subscribe button.